Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AskReddit. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. What's the worst scam you fell for when you were young and gullible? Mom, if you tell me the truth I won't be mad. Mom was always going to be mad. Or, Mom, can I go to insert friend S house? I'll think about it. She didn't think about it. She never thought about it. Had just taken a dump on a public toilet, came out to wash my fingers, but had nowhere to place my Game Boy. Some man offers to hold it for me while I wash my hands. Next thing you know, little idiotic 6-year-old me no longer had a Game Boy. That's horrible. What a fucking cunt. Higher education will get you a better job and is totally worth going 100k in debt for. To date, the highest paid job I've gotten with my education is $15 each. My girlfriend with no high school gets paid more than me. What did you study? Still messes up then after graduating college. I'm sure those resumes were spotless. A friend wanting to help me build a PC, because you get so much more bang for your buck. Me having been friends with him for a decade, trusted he knew what he was doing and wanted to help. Lots of red flags along the way, like telling me he ordered the things before I even asked him to do it, or asking me for the money before I got the PC. But I had no reason not to trust him. Then several weeks later I finally got my bang for my buck PC, which was mainly outdated laptop parts. It was terrible. I was promised Skyrim on Ultra, and I got Skyrim on lowest possible setting and 1280x1080 to get 40 frames per second. He still technically owes me money as he didn't spend the full amount, but he refused to give it to me, even when I was living off $20 a month for a while, so I just stopped talking to him. I'll keep the money safe. Yeah, Dad, I've not seen most of that money. He's still keeping it safe. So my dad has a story of his mom keeping his money for him. He eventually asked for it and she said, "What do you think you guys have been eating off of for months now?" My dad has 4 siblings, his dad was in the army and his mom was trying to make do with what she had. And she had like $20 in 1950s money. Kids, wake up. It's 8 o'clock, you're late for school. Narrator, it was actually 7:15. Was. Herbalife. My parents weren't familiar with MLMs, so they couldn't have warned me. Lost $1k plus savings while barely 18, before realizing it's a scam. I started using their products to lose weight and was asked if I'd like to be a retailer too. It was when he explained the business to me by saying it's not a pyramid scheme and proceeded to draw circles that eventually made a pyramid of circles with him at the top. Then I decided to leave. Zepter here. I was so excited for having a job, so I really believed I could actually earn more than I would with a regular job. Well, that, of course, never happened, and even though I wasn't investing any money in the business, I could get an actual job and earn regular money. Student loans. Fuck student loans. Fell for this twice now that I'm in grad school. Feels like shit. That a career would make my life fulfilling. The career just has to also be entertaining to you and make you good money. Kind of a big catch. Or that good grades would help getting into a good university. Got scammed by a taxi driver in Rome. The fare was €25, and I got the money ready and separate prior to the journey. When I got to my destination I gave him the money, but he swapped one of the notes and said I only gave him €15. I was getting my bags and didn't think anything of it, just apologized, and gave him another €10. Didn't realize till he drove off. I know it's a small amount of money, but I still kick myself to this day. In 2002, I was 18 in my senior year of high school. We were pretty poor, and I had basically zero chance of affording college. I had great grades and scored a 31 on the ACT, so should have gotten scholarships, but fucked up all of the applications, missed deadlines and whatnot. Out of the blue one day I got a call about a grant I qualified for, to help pay for college. All they needed was my bank account and routing number, and they'd direct deposit the funds. Wow. Lucky me. I was so blinded by my financial need and desire to go to engineering school that I gave it out without giving it a second thought. I went to share the news with my parents and was told it was a scam. I didn't want to believe them, but under some kind of threat from my dad I called back and told them to delete my bank account information. The dude was incredulous. I still remember the tone of his voice when he yelled back at me, "You don't want this grant?" Anyway, I contacted the bank and they had already cleaned out my account, all $61 I had to my name. We closed the account and got me a new account number, and that was that. Lesson learned, I guess. Armor trimmers on RuneScape. Doubling GP. Literally any win a free iPhone ad. You used to fall for a bunch of them? How many did it take? Columbia House and their 12 CDs for 1 cent. And all you had to do was buy 50 at regular price, and then somehow manage to cancel their uncancelled service or repeat the whole thing again. Some dude on Roblox wanted me to join his world. I went ahead and did it, and it asked for me to log in to verify that it was me. It said server shutting down in 60 seconds and counting down, so I rushed to do it without even thinking twice. Luckily my mom contacted the Roblox support team, and after days of trying to get them to do something, I got the account back. Quite a clever scam for using on 8-year-olds. Fucking piece of shit. Those weird game trainer viruses. Wait, I don't know what this means. Tell me so I don't fall prey, please. Oh man, that's cruel. Keygens and cracks, sure, but trainers? I guess for multiplayer games it might be a bit of fair game, but what kind of cruel bastard would put a payload in a trainer for an average game? Might as well have a cheat code that deletes Windows while you're at it. Well, I guess there was at least one game that could do that when you tried to uninstall it, but at least that was just poor programming. Here, I'll give you these 5 shiny new pennies for that 1 dirty quarter. You get 5, and I'll get 1. From a friend's older brother when I was like 6 or 7. It was always stupid shit like that. Love scam. Back when I was in my early 20s, I started scouring eBay for whatever semi-precious stones and gems that I could find. While I managed to snag a few great deals, I wound up getting just a bit too enthusiastic about certain rare items, like a raw, uncut piece of ice quartz. Now, I'd heard of rose quartz and smoky quartz, and even rutilated quartz, but ice quartz was brand new to me. The listings included pictures seemed to suggest that it was a perfectly clear variety of the mineral, but that occlusions in the stone made it look a bit like an ice cube. The price was fairly steep, but since it was such a seemingly unique item, I was happy to pay. I realized how stupid I had been when the rock finally arrived. As it turned out, I'd paid quite a bit of money for a plum-sized chunk of broken glass. College loans. Life will get better. Department store credit cards. Get that dope discount and then never receive a statement or card until it's in collections with fees. I refuse to shop at Macy's because of this. I want to say English lessons. 3 times a week for 10 years is both a lot of money for my parents and a lot of time for young me for something that I could learn in half that time. Obviously, you absolutely must learn English if you're not in an English-speaking country. But in retrospect, the amount of time invested in those lessons was so scammy. I honestly feel like I could have achieved the same level of proficiency at half the time, if the lessons weren't intentionally designed to drag for so long. If I were older, I'd have figured out I was too far ahead of my peers and demanded that I attended an advanced class. I do think it was a bit scammy that my teachers never presented that opportunity to my parents and instead milked their money and my time. Amway multi-level marketing of products and building a business based on the backs of everyone underneath you, fantastic pyramid scheme that cost me dearly with several relationships. Any product company that depends on selling to friends and family and getting them into the business to help you is just another pyramid scheme. Proceed with caution and eyes wide open. Marriage. I was 20. Outpatient surgery due to a narrowed esophagus with surprise out-of-network anesthesia. Everything in network when I went in, came out feeling like I'd done the adult thing to get it checked out, and a couple months later I get a bill for $2,000 to $3,000 from the attending anesthetist that my insurance would help me with. Most anesthetists are not in any networks, on purpose, and most health insurers will treat the bill as out of area, meaning there are 0 in-network specialists within 10, 25, or 50 miles of your zip code. They'll pay the reasonable and customary fee to the doctor, essentially treating it as in-network only without a pre-negotiated contract rate. In my part of the country, pediatricians also are rarely in-network. Going to college. I'm not the academic type. I would have been better off going straight into the military for free healthcare, dental, vision, retirement plan, job training, housing allowance, all with a solid salary and opportunity for career growth. Then use the GI Bill to go to college for free once I had my life more figured out. Instead I racked up a bunch of debt and came out with a liberal arts degree. Worthless. Marriage. Was 17 years old. I was told there would be an indefinite supply of sex. How did you get scammed? Do you not get an indefinite amount of sex? I got a phone call offering me some stupid magazine subscriptions, where I would save a bunch of money if I subscribed to several of them. I kept saying that I wanted a list of their available magazines, and they said they couldn't send a full list until after I signed up. But that I could just tell them what I wanted in the meantime. It was so stupid. But it seemed like a great deal, and I liked magazines back then. So I signed up, and even chose a few that I didn't care for, because I couldn't really get a feel for what they even had available. I figured I could go over the list when I received it. Of course, the list never came, and they denied that that was even a thing later on. Here's the kicker, they got me to verbally confirm like 3 times that I was under a contract, and I couldn't cancel for a year or something. Eventually I called them. I was beyond frustrated because I didn't even have the magazines I actually wanted. And I insisted on canceling. They actually told me that it was impossible because they already ordered all these magazines on my behalf, and that's not fair. They were really trying to guilt trip me. Instead, I literally cried until the rep agreed to cancel. So stupid. Fuck those guys though. Back in my teenage days I didn't really get much attention from girls, so I started using Tinder, got a match from a girl that's looked pretty attractive, and she messaged me first, so I was pretty excited. We started talking and the conversation escalates into us planning to hook up. She sent me a couple of nudes and teasing videos and insisted I did the same. Once I finally came around to it, I sent it on Snapchat. She immediately screenshot it and threatened to start sending it to people on my Instagram unless I paid her or sent her a video of me having sex with someone. I didn't either, and she started sending it to people. Eventually I blocked her, and the accounts of the people she sent it to, and I didn't know. While with the people I didn't block I called and explained the situation, and they just kinda laughed it off and told me to be careful on Tinder. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.